Hi, I'm Eric Lanask with TMC. We're here in Miami Beach at IT Expo East 2011. I'm chatting now this morning with Ivo Pascucci from Teanet. Ivo, good morning. Thanks for joining me.
Good morning, Eric. Good to see you.
So over at Teanet, you guys have been really seeing some solid growth. What's been driving that growth, and where are you headed with that growth?
Well, on the IP side of our business, a lot of the growth has been driven by our international reach. So we have network in 23 countries today, and we're really focusing a lot on servicing the emerging markets internationally for our IP and Ethernet services. So as you know, the broadband penetration growth has been very high in those emerging markets, and so for Teanet, that's been a big benefit and a big part of our growth story on the IP and Ethernet side of our business.
So when you say you're heading, looking to grow further into the emerging markets, anywhere in particular?
Well, for us, South America is very interesting. Today we service a lot of South American networks out of the gateways, out of Miami and Dallas in the U.S., and so we're definitely looking south into countries like Brazil and Mexico, where there's a lot of growth, both economically and on the telecom side in IP and voice services. So for us in the Americas region, South America is very interesting. Also, Asia is obviously another great opportunity for Teanet, and we do have a presence already in Asia, in Hong Kong and Singapore, and we definitely look to further expand that over the next year or two.
Are there any regulatory or other issues that you're encountering, especially as you expand into South America?
Absolutely, yeah. South America is definitely a challenging market when it comes to licensing and regulatory, but you know, we could certainly work through those and obtain licenses. And I mean, it's a process. It's not a roadblock that you can't overcome, but it definitely can slow things down.
So in addition to geographic expansion, what are you seeing in terms of growth and new product sets?
Well, for us on the new product side, I mean, over the last year we've been focusing a lot on our Ethernet service, which is a layer 2 point-to-point and point-to-point layer 2 VPLS service. And we've seen quite a pickup in demand and requests for those services. And we're seeing that being driven by the enterprise business, you know, making requests to our carrier customers, and they've in turn been coming to us requesting, you know, Ethernet, global Ethernet solutions, which are covering, you know, multiple countries, and really we're seeing a lot of growth in terms of the bandwidth requirements that these enterprise networks are needing for their own use, and so we're seeing them step up from the traditional 2 meg E1, T1 type networks up into the 10 meg, 100 meg, and even in some cases GigE capacity for their own internal networks.
So so you're seeing enterprises actually deploying GigE.
Yes, absolutely. At this point, it's interestingly enough, we are seeing it at the international level, which is a big step. And I think for the businesses today, with the amount of data that they're transferring internally, they're definitely needing that level of bandwidth at the GigE level.
So what's created that need for that kind of bandwidth?
I think it's the applications. I think you know, a lot of the enterprises are making large transfers of of data internally, and I think it's just that's what's been driving the demand for the higher bandwidth.
And so basically, they're going to their providers, who then need to look to you. Are there any problems with the service providers, or are they happy to expand their Ethernet coverage?
I think they're happy to expand, and you know, for us, with our network and background and the size of our network, it's an easy step for us. I mean, our background being in the IP world and providing N by 10 gig type capacity on the IP side, for us to build out and provide GigE or multi-GigE type Ethernet solutions for our carrier customers is easy. And we make it easy for them to expand because we do have the network presence in all of those markets, so we make it a very seamless entry into the higher speed Ethernet markets for our carrier customers.
So what's next? I mean, you talked a little bit about some enterprises deploying Gigabit Ethernet already. Are we actually going to get to 10 or 100 anytime in the near future?
I believe so, definitely. With the growth and the expansion of companies overseas, especially to new markets where they're moving, their call centers, their research facilities into emerging markets, to reach those facilities and concentrations of knowledge and data. There's definitely going to be a larger and larger need for higher speed connectivity between the facilities.
How well is Teaneck currently positioned for that kind of growth, that next step?
Well, for us, as I said, we are already doing multiple 10 gig capacity and providing N by 10 capacity on the IP side to our carrier customers. So for us, it's going to be we're very well positioned for that market and for that growth.
Excellent. I can't wait to hear more.
Great.
I've been talking here at IT Expo East in Miami with Ivo Pascucci from Teanet. Ivo, thanks again for joining me today.
Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it. Take care.